We're gonna give some folks a minute to come on. We're gonna give folks a minute to come on. Welcome everyone to 5 Minutes with a Cup of Joe. It is June the 20th, 2026. This is Joseph Ashcraft with you, joining you, taking you through the world of sports as it has been here lately. So, welcome in. Please visit my website, pznsports.com. That's my website where I talk about all things sports related and where I talk about all things going on, latest streams and things of that nature, sports and all that's in it. It's been an exciting time since we last got together. Last I got together, Game 7 of West Conference Finals was going on. Of course, here's what's been going on lately. The Louisville Kings go from 0-3 on the season for the United Bowl to winning the United Bowl championship, 27-20 over the DC Defenders. But that game was not nearly as close as the final score indicated. Louisville had it from the get-go. So uh, Kings earned their crown, 0-3. They changed quarterbacks, and they wind up winning the United Bowl. So congratulations to the Kings. They are the kings of the UFL, and they will be very tough going forward. DC did get an early field goal, and at times it did look like the defenders had it in the bag at halftime. Louisville did get a touchdown and and a couple of field goals, but two late touchdowns really sealed the deal for the Kings. And 27-20, the Kings beat the defenders, and they are the champions. In the NBA, and this was seemingly never in doubt, but the Knicks they won the NBA championship 4 games to 1. First time they've won it in a long time, since '73. So I knew the Spurs were in trouble once they lost the first 2 games, 105-95, first 2 games at home, and then 105-104. The Knicks beat the Spurs, and then 2-1, 115-111, and then Game 4, where the Spurs absolutely blew the largest lead in NBA Finals history. And how in the world does a team blow a lead of 29 and then win and then blow this and win the finals? So it's crazy. It was crazy, no doubt. But then the Spurs at home trying to keep the series alive, but the Knicks fans they were so anticipating what would happen. And the Spurs, the first time in that series, I felt that the Spurs lost their home court advantage. So many Knicks fans made the trip to San Antonio, and the Spurs blew a lead yet again, and the Knicks came out on top, and the Knicks win their first NBA Finals. And it's not a dream, it's reality that the Knicks win the NBA Finals. Jalen Brunson had a night for the ages, as he had a 45-point night for the first time 53 years. The Knicks won. I said at the time when I was watching, I said this is the NBA's version of the Cubs winning the World Series, and it did seem like that was what was going on. So congratulations to the Knicks fans all over the country and in New York, all over the world. Speaking of the Chicago Cubs, the Cubs have a series this weekend against the Toronto Blue Jays, and the second game of the series did not go the way they hoped it would. After smashing the Blue Jays in game number 1, the Blue Jays came back on offense and had a eighth inning for the ages, where they scored 5 in the eighth, and really put the game out of reach at that point. So 8-6, the Blue Jays beat the Cubs. Hoffman, the winner. Webb, the loser. Barlin to save his 15th for the Jays. And so Toronto still fighting for a spot in the East, and the Cubs still fighting for their spot in the Central. And it's been my fear that the Cubs, once they lost Kyle Tucker, they become too PCA heavy offensively. And considering me one of those Cub fans who is getting very disenchanted with the performance that this Cubs team has done under manager Craig Counsell. For what they are paying him, the Cubs should win the World Series every year. But this ball club is right now, it doesn't seem like anybody really wants to win the division. But someone has to win this division, even if they all finish just above 500. But there are no there are no winners right now in the National League Central Division. Ellie De La Cruz is on a rehab assignment in Louisville. When he comes back up, the Reds, I expect them to get back to their ways with him in the lineup. World Cup. Let's talk a little football. Team USA yesterday with a 2-0 win over Australia, and they will lead Group D before the knockout games, and Christian Pulisic losing him. Christian, that's a big loss. Uh, that was a big loss, but Team USA found a way and they won anyway. So that's that's what's going on there. So there's a new rule in the World Cup that's being talked about, and you had Miguel Almiron, the first player ejected under the new mouth covering rule for the World Cup. So they'll see. He may not come back in the World Cup, but anyway, here's the fun part. All-Star Game Ballot 2026. You can vote from June 3rd through the 25th. Help your favorites advance. And phase two, June 29th to the 2nd, you can vote for the starters for the game. And so we're gonna do our first. I've done All-Star Game ballots before, but I've never done a live All-Star Game ballot. So I guess we'll take a look and see who we want. I do know that these. I do kind of like that these are telling you who's leading position by position. Uh, so let's go first and take a look and see these guys here. So it's been a year, and if I take a look, you can just go position by position, player by player, and just see how they're doing. And yeah, I think Ben Rice has been a nice offensive weapon this year for the Yankees. 288, 21 homers, 52 RBIs. He's been really good. But Murakami he's been very good for the Sox, and I will go ahead. I think he's been a star, and he's the reason the White Sox have suddenly become respectable in the AL Central. So, uh, first base for him. Uh, Even though I will admit, I think that the you take a look at all these positions, and of course, the National League is going to be very Dodger heavy, and of course, it is. The Dodgers are the team that's done really well. Well, I'm going to give this vote to Matt Olson. Matt Olson's played really well. A 273 average, 20 homers, 51 RBIs, and the Braves they look like they may be going from worst to first. So he has a lot to do with why that is the case. So second base, there's a reason I'm looking at these, and yeah, I look at these guys, and they're all. Arias is very good. I don't know why Arias is. I don't know why he was a free agent up until February this year before the Giants picked him up. I thought he was a suitable uh, player for any position. Um, It'll be interesting to see how this goes. And I see Clement getting a lot of support. I'm also seeing Ezekiel Duran from the Rangers getting a lot of support. Clement, 292. That's pretty good with modern pitching. That's pretty good with modern pitching. That's a tough thing to argue with. I'll go with him. So we got, so, all right. So we've got first base. We got our second base. Let's see who the leaders are. Mad Max Muncy. and Akamoto's getting a lot of support. Caminero of the Rays, he's also getting a lot of support. Junior Caminero. Don't know. Tampa Bay seems like they have star after star, prospect after prospect, and they just bring them up, and they all just suddenly become really good. So that's interesting to see that Caminero, Donovan. How many Caminero deserves it on? I'll give it to him. But and then who do I have to choose from? I could choose from any player, but I'm not looking at this and Mad Max. All right, we'll pick Mad Max. He'll get a nod. So, all right, now third base. So let's see who's first and second. Amazing how some of these guys, for a long time in baseball, you wouldn't see averages as low as they are now, but pitching has become so hard throwing and so specialized that now a low average can almost be forgiven. Bobby Witt Jr., he's my selection to go to the All Star game in Philadelphia, and guess I will have to pick someone from the Phillies to go. We'll see. Mookie Betts, Abrams is good too. With Washington, he's really good. Shortstop, Betts is good, but Abrams has been a breath of fresh air for Washington. I'll pick him. It was all right. Catcher, Drake Baldwin, the Braves, Contreras, Davis, Kirk, and Shea Langieers. Langieers, I've seen his name pop up in a lot of highlights for the Athletics this year, and I think he does deserve to go, especially over Alejandro Kirk, who is the catcher for the defending American League champions. But I will pick Langieers. I think he deserves to go. Baldwin's been really good. He's been really good for the Braves as well. He's probably another reason why the Braves have had a resurgence that they've had. And outfielder. All right, so three players per league. These are going to be guys that we'll see who's top three, fourth and fifth. Harris Fernandez, Brandon Marsh, Pajes. Of course, Dodgers have number one outfielder. Of course they are. Trout second. Taylor. Okay. Does Suzuki deserve a nomination? I don't know. Richard Steer's been good. Reds. Soto. Soto may just get one because he's he's the biggest name for the Mets right now. He may get one just for that reason. Eh, his stats on paper are good, but oh, he deserves one. Pajes, Merrill, Hap, TJ Friedel, Duvon, Cruz. PCA deserves one. I'll pick him. Cassie, JJ Bleday, Acuna. Bleday's been pretty good for the Reds this year too, so I'll pick Bleday. Uh, and these will just be guys that I know. Rosarena, he's good for Tampa. I do have to vote for some Yankees, so Bellinger, he's pretty good. And of course, I think the Judge is good. I think he deserves to go. DH, great. There was a time only one league would have a DH selected, but of course, I mean, it has to be Otani for the National League, doesn't it? It almost has to be. I mean, it almost has to be. got to be him. I'll pick him. What about for the American League? George Springer, Carlos Stanton, Yordan Alvarez. Yeah, I'll pick Alvarez. He's good. All right, so let's review this. Mutaka Murakami, Matt Olson for first base, Ezekiel Duran, Luis Arias, Junior Caminero, Max Muncy, Bobby Witt Jr., C.J. Abrams, Jay Langoliers, Drake Baldwin, Randy Arozarena, Cody Bellinger and Aaron Judge for me, J.J. Bleday, PCA, Juan Soto for me, designated hitter, Jordan Alvarez for the Astros, Shohei Ohtani for the Dodgers. I think these are good selections. Overall, these are good. Okay, these are my selections for that. All right, so I've picked those. I'll fill that out later and submit it. But what do you think? Good, bad? Generally, I think those are all right. You certainly, if this is how the All Star Game ballot will be, it'll be a pretty good All Star Game. All Star Game this year is in Philadelphia, of course. 250 years for the United States of America. So we'll see how it turns out. And this will be a pretty even matchup. You know, it's not very NL heavy. It's not very Cub heavy either. So even teams that I may root for, it's not overpowering in that regard. So and so we have that, and all right. So congrats to Otto Lopez of the Marlins. He becomes the first player in MLB to 100 hits on the season. So congratulations to him for that. NBA draft is coming up this week. Coming up, well, next week, and June 23rd, 24th, and of course, the Washington Washington Wizards have the first pick in the draft, but we'll see. I'd like to see, of course, 1 to 60, and like to see how Tagovailoa does, where he goes. We'll see how that goes. But your first 10 selections: the Wizards, the Jazz, Grizzlies, the Bulls, the Clippers, the Nets, the Kings, the Hawks, the Mavericks, the Bucks, and then Warriors for 11, all the way down to number 60. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes, see who gets picked, and Knicks getting the first pick to start the second round. That's very interesting. But so Dallas closes it out with pick number 30. And Washington closed it out with pick number 60. All right, so that was interesting. So we got a few more minutes, so let's close this out with some style and some pizzazz. So today in sports history, the 1993 NBA Finals, the Bulls became the first team since the Celtics of the 60s to win three consecutive titles, 99, 98. The Bulls beat Phoenix, and Michael Jordan was the MVP for the third straight year. And so we covered everything that there was to cover, and appreciate everyone for tuning in, listening, watching, commenting, liking. Thank you all very much for listening, and like I said, appreciate all the support. It's been very nice, and alrighty, that's guess we'll close up shop here today, everyone. Appreciate you watching, listening. Take care, and I bid you all adieu and aloha.